Welcome to another edition of Chops and Pops. It is November 29th, 2015. Of all the sights and sounds to be seen and heard, you are here with us. Thank you so much for listening here on our YouTube channel. I am Andy.
And I am Shane.
And today we are going to talk about Sheamus is your WWE World Heavyweight Champion / TLC main event announced and TNA big news.
Yes. TNA has a new TV deal, and Sheamus is the world champion, and nobody likes it.
Boo that, man.
So let's talk about both of those things, starting with, I guess, Sheamus. Last week when we taped an episode, it was for Survivor Series while it was going on live, and we ended the show with Sheamus as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, it's been a weekend, and we got a new world champ. And how do you feel about it?
He's champion.
Sheamus
How about
is
that?
World champion.
They DB'd Roman Reigns. They Daniel Bryan'd him.
They did, kind of.
They threw the confetti, and then he went. Triple H came out to shake the hand, and Roman Reigns speared him, and that was it. And it was that bad decision, just bad decision. And
I guess part of it is trying to take that corporate pick look off of Roman Reigns by having his adversary be the person who,
Right. But this is the second time he's getting the corporate picked over him with Seth Rollins using the Money in the Bank on him.
They're trying to build that sympathy. Nobody wants to give it to him, so they're trying to build it however they can.
He has good matches. Can we just
I'm
agree
fine
with
with that? I think Roman Reigns has good matches. People don't like to admit that sort of thing, but I think after 2015, some of it isn't really arguable.
Yeah. Like,
again, we run through this list like we've probably done it a half a dozen times this year alone, but it's there. It's him and Daniel Bryan at Fastlane.
Yeah.
Main event of WrestleMania.
He made Big
match
Show
with
look
Big
good.
Show.
He
had a
good.
good match with the Big Show. So you can't even use that excuse that it's always the other guy making him look good. He had a good match with the Big Show. And he had a fatal 4-way match for the world title at Payback. That was good. He had the Bray Wyatt match at Battleground. That was good.
More recently, the tournament matches have been really good, especially the match
Cesaro.
with Cesaro.
Yes, the Cesaro match. The guy's good. But we're getting on the Roman Reigns topic. We need to stay on the Sheamus.
We need to get
topic.
off the Reigns train.
Get off the Reigns train. Ramen Reigns.
The Roman Reigns. See, if I had a restaurant, it would be wrestling themed, so it would be Ramen Reigns.
Yes.
And Sheamus would be just terrible. It would just be like haggis. It would be Shaggus.
And you could sell Shield shakes, Sheamus shakes.
They
Sheamus shakes are kind of just already the
they're just Shamrock shakes.
Shamrock shakes from
which
McDonald's.
we're months away from those. I don't want to get on that. But yeah, Sheamus is your champion, and I hate it. And Rusev is back.
But let's
Sheamus.
Talking about Sheamus as the conversation, people hate it. You're not the only one, and people are upset about it. Why do you hate it? What do you think is wrong about it specifically? Because we could sit here and just say sucks, and that could be the plain and simple way of looking at it, but we're doing a podcast here. Let's break it down. Let's just try to say why this man sucks and give ourselves credibility towards why we rip this man apart. Why does Sheamus suck? Or more specifically, why does him being world champion suck?
If you watched Survivor Series, you watched him in the Survivor Series match get abandoned by his team and made to look like a fool. God, was it Kalisto that pinned him?
I can't remember.
It was either Kalisto, Ryback, or the Uso, who I don't remember his name. I know it's either Jimmy or Jay, but I don't remember if it was the one with the shirt on, if that helps. Whoever was wearing the shirt, but I don't know who pinned him. But he looked like a chump. And he was like the butt of the joke. Like they walked out and they said things and he said something and they looked at him like he was an idiot. And then I'm supposed to believe that this man is the champion by the end of the night.
So is your problem that the way that he was booked made him look weak? Like, do you have any problems with his character? Like just him being that, the Celtic
when
warrior,
he started with
the
this
Irish
like
guy.
crazy Celtic Warrior thing, and he basically like kicked Daniel Bryan's head off. I was like, okay, this is an interesting, like maybe he's gonna be like very violent. That's good because I'm used to like babyface Sheamus and him being like fella and being funny, but this
Playing
is,
around with Muppets.
Yeah,
Got you.
like that's great. That was a great moment. But yeah, like
Which
angry.
character is that? Beaker?
Beaker.
That has the orange hair?
But yeah, that's the Sheamus like playing with his hair. This is the Sheamus that
He's
he's tough. This
he
guy's
looked
gonna,
like a monster.
yeah.
He
This
looked like
guy's
he
gonna
could hurt
this guy's
people.
gonna be formidable. Someone's gonna have to like really fight to take him down, and then he's just losing
Well, he
all the time.
He did what a lot of Money in the Bank briefcase people do, is he lost momentum right when he won the briefcase. I say that day after WrestleMania when he came back and he beat up Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler in California, right up until Money in the Bank was when he was booked really, really strong, and I would have totally believed him as a champion. See, if I had to be more specific of what my problem is, it's that while there's a lot of people that disagree with me, and probably a lot of the listeners included who are wrestling fans, I think the WWE World Heavyweight Championship has been booked strongly since fall of 2011. A lot of people won't agree
Wow.
with that.
That's going back a ways.
Yeah, and I can defend it to a point. Because a lot of people talk about different championships and whether they mean anything, or especially how there's been a lot of people on the roster who have struggled to try to keep the Intercontinental title. And
Yeah, that's a mess lately. That's,
and there's been different periods where you think to yourself, like, it means something again, or this person as champion is, gives it credibility. And then there's other times where you're just like, this is a joke.
like The Miz.
Or even, well, look at the United States Championship. Like, I think John Cena worked his butt off to get that title to mean something, and that open challenge was great. With Del Rio and Zeb Coulter now, it's dropped down to meaning absolutely nothing to me now.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why are they working together? And like now who are they fighting? Oh, what's his face? The guy, Mr. We the People.
Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger.
I know.
It's been
Recycling
Yeah.
a feud from like 3 years ago that didn't work then and doesn't work now. But yeah, so with the world title, I think it was back when CM Punk made the pipe bomb speech. That was in the summer of 2011. But even right after the promo he cut, it still was in this like weird, like it was just being kind of like juggled around like between Del Rio and Cena and all that. And then finally Punk won it at Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden in the fall of 2011. And then he had that long, year-and-a-half-long world title reign. Ever since he won it that night at the Garden, I don't think that there's been a world title change that didn't make sense or didn't have credibility or didn't mean something, no matter who it went to. This is the first time in 4 years where I'm kind of cringing going, I don't know if Sheamus is legit enough because they've had so many legit people have it.
No, he's not.
Yeah, because like Rollins had this incredible run. Before Rollins, it was Brock, and Brock's domination has been just crazy. And then even when you fast forward that, it was between Cena, which you could say what you want, but Cena's the top guy. It still keeps that credibility with the world title, reign. And when he had it, worked for what it was. And before that, it was The Rock, which you can't get, bigger than that in the wrestling world right now. And then before that was Punk's long title reign. So just the point I'm making is that this is that first time in a long time that make me go, is this person championship material?
No. No, he's not.
Thank you for summing up my whole rant in one word.
That's it just I don't, like I said, I don't believe it. Who's to stop literally anybody at this point in the company from coming and just challenging him and beating him? Cuz he's lost to people he should not be losing to.
Which brings me to my next point. Are you okay with the Sheamus world title reign if it means we're getting Sheamus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania?
Yes. Absolutely.
Wait, can you repeat that for me? Maybe just one more time, Annie.
You want me?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I understand what's happening here.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm. You could say that
so
I'm
if
excited.
So if Sheamus and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania happens, this is all okay.
Yes.
You're okay with it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yes.
So otherwise, this sucks.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, is there anything else you want to say about Sheamus and him being at the top of the company right now?
Is he the main event on TLC?
I'm waiting for it. Yes, yes, because he is. Main event is Sheamus and Roman Reigns.
Wait. Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Plugged in, you're all ready?
Ready.
Okay, Sheamus and Roman Reigns, is that the main event of TLC?
Yes.
Okay.
But
All right.
am I excited?
No.
Are our listeners aggravated?
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. So the main event of TLC, do you have anything to add?
So this is going to be your traditional tables, ladders, chairs. Oh my.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good. I think that's an interesting thing to point out with Sheamus and ripping him apart is that I don't think there's anything wrong with his in-ring work.
Right.
He's a very good wrestler, and he has very good matches. His
Mhm.
character isn't really my jam.
They need to just make him angry Celtic warrior and stick to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Don't make jokes. Just be angry. And
No Muppets.
no Muppets.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be
okay,
good. It could be good.
that's enough about Sheamus. I was going to try to find a transition to go from Ireland to America, but we're not there yet because
No.
we have to talk about TNA and TNA's TV deal.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything about it? Because I'm always talking about TNA, and I feel bad because I'm not really a TNA guy. I need...
What I thought I heard was that they signed some sort of deal with like Pop TV or something like that.
Which is the former TV Guide channel.
Okay.
You know, the
Had
TV
no
channel where they
idea.
would always have, like, the bottom half of the screen was the...
So the
You're
TNA matches
laughing.
are going to be going on over like what I'm watching later.
Possibly.
That's awful.
Yeah. But you know what? It's good for them. It's good that they got a new TV deal. It's good that it's a multi-year deal.
Right.
It's good that they have some sort of certainty to their future, you know. If they lost the Destination America deal and then didn't have anything lined up after that, who knows where TNA would be right now. They're going to be in a lot more households than they were with the Destination America deal, which is good for them.
Does that channel actually show stuff other than the TV Guide?
Yeah. They actually a few years ago, I remember they started getting big with their programming. They aired syndication of Curb Your Enthusiasm for a while, and I know they aired syndication of Weeds, that show on Showtime.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I caught it a couple times because I didn't get Showtime, so it was it was like a censored version, which sucked. But yeah, that's one of the pluses to this is that Hulk Hogan talked about this one time when he was working for TNA. Is that when you travel a lot and when you stay in hotels, you know how you always notice you only get like that 20 to 30 sections of channels of TV stations, and you know certain ones don't always fall within that.
Yeah.
He was talking about how Spike TV, for as big as it was usually left out of that certain selection of TV channels, and how important it was to be part of that certain selection of TV channels, because channels like USA always were for shows like Monday Night Raw. Point I'm getting to is that for something like Pop TV, they could be. Yeah. I would think they might be. Like a TV Guide channel, Pop TV, they're probably available in a lot of areas.
Just because of the TV Guide aspect, I would say probably, yeah.
But it's good news for them. And this world title tournament that's been going on forever. Will finally be coming to a conclusion when they premiere on Pop TV in January. It's going to be a live episode. Another aspect to talk about it is the fact that they're moving their show to Tuesday night.
Oh.
and whether that's a smart idea or not, because WWE is also moving SmackDown to Tuesday night to air live on USA.
Oh, wow.
But that will be 8 to 10. TNA will be 9 to 11. That could be a benefit that the SmackDown audience goes to TNA for the last hour. So there's that. Do you have anything to add as far as TNA and their future and Pop TV?
Well, they just canceled that big India tour.
There is that, yes.
So that doesn't...
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
That doesn't impress me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody that I knew or cared about in TNA, except for the Hardys, but I mean, I don't know what's going on with them.
Well, Jeff is gone. Jeff is injured.
Oh, yeah, he broke his leg.
Matt is close to the main event, if not the main event, because the whole tournament that's being held right now is because he had to forfeit the world title.
Right. Okay. They're all I know.
You're not familiar with EC3?
Oh, EC3, I know him.
Trouble.
And
Yeah.
The bro thing.
Oh, Robbie E.
Robbie E, yeah. What about
How's
Jesse?
my hair, bro? What about Jesse, though?
What about Jesse, though? Bro. Yeah, that was great. That's
Yeah.
great. But they broke
See,
up.
those are some sound clips we need. Some sound bites. We need bromans. Yeah, they did break up bromans.
Which is a shame.
You know, I'll give it a shot, just like I always have. I'm a much more optimistic TNA viewer than most people. But yeah, I'll watch it. I want to see how the world title tournament ends. The conclusion that it reaches. I don't have high hopes. I could see it being all for nothing, but we'll see. But it's good news for their company and good news for them.
It is. And I know we spoke of the India
Yes, we
thing.
did. Yes, we did. And just like all the other beautiful segues that we come up with on a weekly basis, let's
So
go
many.
from India
Hey.
to America.
What? America?
Say what?
That's where we live. Yeah. Alright. So, for those of you that don't know, Thanksgiving just happened. Woo! We surely gave thanks, even though this was probably my least enjoyable Thanksgiving ever. But hey,
Truth on the radio, ladies and gentlemen.
guess what happened after that? It was Black Friday, and I bought some records, and I bought some like fleece throws, and I bought an Xbox One for no reason whatsoever except that there was a sale. I truly lived the American dream of buying in excess for no good reason. While I did not witness a fight, there were fights out there. And I want you to keep fighting the good fight, America, because there's still good to be had and good to be done. This is Andy, signing off. God bless, and stay strong.
Real talk.
I would
That
like to,
that was accurate.
I would
was-
like to say that I completely winged that one.
Did you really?
Yeah, normally
That
I
was
write,
on point.
Yeah, normally I write them down. This time I literally wrote Black Friday rant. Yep.
That was 100% accurate.
Yes. It was. Black Friday actually was a lot less busy than last year. Like, we went to Target at like 9 o'clock, like 8 o'clock actually, and all of the TVs were just lying there. No one was touching them.
Those lonely, lonely TVs.
I mean, if I didn't already have a TV, there were some good deals.
I heard just across the board that nobody really went that crazy this year for Black Friday. That the few people I talked to that went out didn't really see that many people out.
It
Traffic wasn't bad.
It wasn't that bad. Like, I remember last year I went to, like, Walmart at, like, 10 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be crazy, and the store was empty. I mean, it
That's
looked
surprising.
like a tornado blew through it, but, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I guess people are realizing that just buying it on the internet saves you all of the hassle.
Now, I have a question. Out of all of the Thanksgiving leftovers that you had, were there any, pork chops left over?
pork chops. There
yeah.
were. I
Any
didn't
chops?
I didn't get any leftovers at all.
No,
Nothing.
no leftover chops.
No leftover chops at all, except for this one.
Biggest cornballs in America, ladies and gentlemen. Biggest cornballs in America. Chops of the week.
Chops.
Andy, go
All
first.
right. So my chops go to the Wyatts, now feuding with the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, they got that match at TLC coming up, right? Tables match?
Yeah, but I don't know if you remember. They were kind of feuding with this one group. You may have heard of them. They're pretty big in the tag team division. The New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Save the tables. Save the tables. That
They-
was the perfect setup for a tables match.
I see where you're going with this, but they did drag out that feud for a while, though. They had the match at Night of Champions. They had another one at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I feel like it served its purpose. And you know what? I saw that besides the Dudleys and the Wyatts having a match, the way that the direction they were taking New Day was to put them in a triple threat match with New Day, Usos, and...
The Luchas.
Is it the Luchas?
I heard it was going to be the Lucha Dragons, yeah.
I feel like it was somebody else. Maybe it was Lucha Dragons.
Because
I feel-
who are the other tag teams that are active right now?
There's somebody else that's major that I'm forgetting about right now. Because I know there's Luchas, I know there's Los Matadors, but there was somebody else at like the top. Oh, not Primetime
No.
Players.
It really might be the Lucha Dragons,
Maybe it was.
which is...
But yeah, the point I'm making is that when you put the Dudley Boys in a triple threat like that, it goes back to history. It looks like you're trying to recreate something from the past. When you
Right.
put the Dudleys with somebody like the Wyatt family, then you leave the modern day version of the tag team division to have a triple threat within itself. Because there's enough good tag teams around
Yeah.
right now to, do it on their own.
I guess I'm just mad because the Wyatts were just feuding with Kane and The Undertaker, and now the
It's
Dudley
over.
Boys.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I remember reading that it's because the reason they're doing it is to help out, Strowman, big strong guy.
Well, I think the Dudleys in general just want to help put over as many tag teams as they possibly can while they're there.
Yeah. Which I think, they have the credibility as tag team to put people over. I mean, they've been at the top of their game in so many different organizations, just being one of probably the best tag teams of all time.
Yeah, if
Arguably.
there's-
I mean, there are some people that would argue on that.
I try to respect everybody's opinion, but when it comes to the Dudley Boys, there's nobody. You can't argue anybody to me that are a better tag team all around.
Right.
Again, you have to be talking about all around. You can't just be talking about in-ring. You have to talk about in-ring, promos, characters, companies they've worked for, championships won, just all what they've done for their entire careers. Dudley Boys are untouchable. Road Warriors, get out of here. Legion of Doom, no way. No way. Dudley Boys surpassed them years ago. But yeah. So okay, that's your
so that's
chop
my
of the
chop.
week.
Just I really just wanted another save the table moment, especially with that new hair that Xavier Woods has.
It's
just
luxurious.
it's gorgeous. Dare I say gorgeous?
For my chop of the week, I'm bringing it back to what we were
Mhm.
talking about before, and that's why I didn't want to go too far with it. TNA canceled their tour of India that they were supposed to do. They went as far as getting all the work visas that they needed for over 50 different crew members.
Wow.
I know India is a very easy travel spot to go to get very, very sick and very severely sick. So I know you have to get a lot of shots before going there. I feel like this is a horrible thing to talk about on the air because we probably have a lot of Indian viewers,
Right.
and it's not like something I'm trying to say, but there's health concerns that
There
you
are.
need to take care of.
I think
before you go to-
traveling anywhere there's health concerns.
yeah, and vice versa.
Right.
It's just more of the areas you grew up in,
Yeah.
your immunity, and I'm getting way off topic here. But the point I'm making is that I'm sure that the wrestlers had to go take care of a lot of medical needs that
Right.
they need to before traveling to a place like that. And they took care of everything. Everything was all set to go, and then it just got canceled. As far as I know, like literally days, if not the day before they were supposed to leave.
Oh, wow.
With no warning. And it's being blamed to timing issues, whatever that means. Some people have blamed it on the whole ISIS situation to travel to, internationally like that right now. It's not a good look for where TNA stood, and they just canceled a U.S. tour in the fall about a month ago. So, yeah, it's not looking so hot. So I guess as far as TV goes, because they were supposed to tape a couple weeks of TV in India, I guess the last few episodes that will air on Destination America will just be the year in review type show. You know what I mean? Best
Yeah.
of 2015 or whatever.
That's lame.
Yeah. So my chop goes to TNA for their poor mismanagement. That I get it. You said timing issues, but I still don't get what that means. Speaking of timing, I feel like it's a different time of the show.
Nope. That almost worked.
Almost.
Almost. So close.
Pop of the week.
Pop of the week.
Pop of the week.
So, my pop of the week goes to one of my favorites, which it's Eva Marie. Okay, it's her NXT title match.
Get out of here.
It is. That was my pop of the week.
Get
The
the
booking
F-
was on point. It hit her weaknesses well. It showed what she could do okay, and it was
Her
intriguing.
weaknesses are everything.
But they hid them well.
All weaknesses, everything.
They hid them very well. And it was exciting. I'm like, oh, man, they're bringing in another referee. Oh, Nia Jax is on the side. Oh, the commentary did a great job. It really set up that there was going to be like a screw job. It was like, I was really like, oh, my God, what's going to happen? Oh, my God. Like every second I was like.
Right, with the
It was
referee and everything.
very exciting. Like way more exciting than the Alexa Bliss match. I fell asleep during that match.
Yeah, I was upset over how I didn't get invested in that match.
I thought I would
because
care.
when Alexa Bliss first started in NXT, I thought she had one of the brighter futures of any women's wrestler they had. And then the Four Horsewomen took over, and you
Right.
realized that wasn't the case. But Alexa always looked like a star. Lately, she's been blending in. She doesn't stand out.
No.
You know?
Her generic heel. The cool skull hands are sweet, though. I gotta give them that. The
You
skeleton
do
hands.
like the skull hands.
Those are dope. But she didn't do it. But Eva Marie did it. I was so interested.
So are you saying Eva Marie, match of the year candidate?
No, God, no. I'm not saying it's just for the week. That was nice.
Match of the week candidate?
Match of the week candidate. For me.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It was a bad week for me. I don't know. I didn't really see a whole lot that, like, I don't know. Because the Roman Reigns-Cesaro match was the week before, so I can't
That's
count that
true.
one.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't watch SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that triple threat was probably great.
It was great.
But, I mean,
And-
that might have been it. But Tyler Breeze had to eat the pin, which... It's back to that again. Oh, well. I still love him.
Well, just to make transitions work, I'm going to say that my pop of the week was that triple threat
There you
between
go.
Dean Ambrose, Tyler Breeze, and Dolph Ziggler, because I don't have anything else that I could think of that would be my pop of the week.
Rusev coming back and kicking Roman Reigns in the face isn't good
No,
enough.
That didn't do it for me. And trying to think of the other companies, like between Ring of Honor, New Japan, CZW. Nothing else would be pop worthy. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to the triple threat match for the #1 contendership for the Intercontinental title, which also set up a match I'm highly looking forward to between Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose at TLC in the month of December. It's going to be a ladder match, and it's going to be good.
The only thing that would make it better would be if Sami Zayn was in the ladder match.
That too.
But
Show's over.
yeah,
Go home.
we're out of time, so
Get out of here.
peace in the Middle East, folks.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, snap.
Wait a minute. Don't go anywhere.
There's more.
There is more.
There's so much more, actually. so much more. Let's start at the top of my list here. DJ Hyde.
DJ Hyde. CZW. He's reforming CZW a bit because they had to shake things up because they got shaken up. Two guys that they were investing in to really take the company into the future. One was Nick Gage, and Nick Gage is back in prison. So, yeah, he can't really main event any CZW shows anytime soon.
Yeah, that'll put a damper on it.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the main event of Cage of Death and get a world title match.
Oh.
So that screwed up all of the main event plans. And then they had Speedball Mike Bailey, who was getting pretty serious in the Wired Championship scene, and he's going to Mexico. And didn't tell anybody about it. So they were thrown for a loop, and for reasons I still don't know, DJ Hyde canceled Dojo Wars and no longer has Dojo Wars on Wednesday nights. Between all of that, I know he's taking the month of January off. So right after Cage of Death is really going to be a reset period for CZW, and he says he's going to reevaluate everything about the company. I don't know which way he's leaning towards. I don't know if he thinks that maybe trying to PG down CZW was a bad move, and maybe he's going to take it back to its roots. Maybe he thinks, like, we weren't doing enough deathmatch stuff, and that's what made people stop liking us. Let's go deathmatch crazy again.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe it's an issue of talent depth. And maybe he thinks that he needs to bring some of those people from Dojo Wars up to the main roster and get fresh blood. Maybe he was just thrown for a loop booking-wise and has to start from scratch. So
Right.
there's a lot of reasons, but CZW is going to change.
There is one bright star in his future. The member of NXT,
Solomon Crow.
Solomon Crow,
Or should I say Sami Callihan.
Sami Callihan, has left NXT.
Sami Callihan will be at Cage of Death. Mark my words. It is not announced officially, but Sami Callihan just made his first debut back into the indie scene. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? At an AIW? Is it AAW or AIW? It was the Windy City Wrestling organization. I'm not very familiar with them, obviously, if I can't even get their name right. But Sami Callihan made a surprise appearance there. So he's already back on the indie scene. CZW was his home, and I know he has a very, very close relationship with DJ Hyde. And Cage of Death is their biggest show of the year. I kind of think the timing of when he asked to be released was interesting because it was right before Cage of Death. It seemed like he wanted to be at Cage of Death.
Yeah.
And didn't want to miss out. So yeah, we're probably going to get a surprise return, even though it's not a surprise if I'm already talking about it. But Sami Callihan being back in CZW will give it that shoot in the arm that I think CZW needs right now.
Very nice. Let's see. Ring of Honor.
Here's something I want to ask you before we get into Ring of Honor.
Okay.
With Sami Callihan, I know he wasn't one of your favorites in NXT, as Solomon Crow, but would Sami Callihan going to CZW get you interested in CZW or get you interested enough to watch a show?
I think stuff that I've seen from CZW over the past year, I was under the impression that CZW was all the crazy deathmatch stuff for a long time.
Not at
so
all.
that kind of turned me off of CZW because I'm not really big into light tubes and barbed wire and blood. I mean, when it makes sense story-wise, blood is good. And I've seen some, I don't even remember what matches, but I've seen like just clips of CZW, and it looked way better than I thought.
Yeah.
And
don't get me wrong, they have a lot of young talent that's inexperienced, and there's some stuff that ends up on Botchamania.
Right.
Let's just be honest. But in terms of wrestling style, in terms of what they do, they have really talented people come through their doors. They just had Rich Swann there for years, and now that guy's in NXT. Biff Busick, who was huge on the indie scene, now that guy's in NXT. Look at Dean Ambrose. Look at Solomon Crowe. You know, like they have serious talent come through their doors. You know,
and I think Sami Callihan was just kind of handed a bad card in NXT. I feel like he was just that was a bad gimmick, and I feel like he just felt stifled. And I feel like I don't know. He wasn't really given a lot.
Think about it. Think about where that man's creativity has gone. When he was on his biggest show of the year on the indie scene and he thought, what can I do to get more attention than anybody? He shit into a Wawa bag and used that in his match. I don't think you can use that sort of creativity down in NXT with Triple H.
No.
I mean, Triple H probably appreciates a good poop joke, but I don't think you can do that on the WWE network.
No, not at all.
But yeah, CZW is going to... And you know what? I asked that question because I think DJ Hyde pays attention to people like you. I think that he understands that there's guys like me who will go to any wrestling show out there. But that I have my inner circle of friends that ranges from people that would never go to an indie show, may go once in a while, or may need some convincing. When there's people like you who are saying, I've seen some good stuff come out of that company, but I don't feel comfortable going to a show if there's going to be glass flying everywhere.
Yes.
DJ Hyde realizes that, you know, if I'm going to sell more tickets for using less glass, screw it. I'm going to use less glass.
Yeah.
You know, you still got to find a way to come across as CZW, this dangerous, thrilling company. But take into consideration Andy's feelings because that could be one more ticket sold. Because I do feel I am this close to convincing you guys to come to Cage of Death with me this year. But it's still not a sell.
I'm still like really shocked from watching Cage of Death in the kitchen, just watching like a match with
DJ
you
Hyde and Matt Tremont.
and that was like
that
was brutal, man.
It was. DJ Hyde even admitted he almost died from that one spot, but
yeah, that was some crazy.
Yeah. What else do we have though? Because I know we have a lot.
AJ Styles injury.
Okay, AJ Styles. It's supposedly not that serious. It's a lower back injury, but New Japan is in its last loop of house show tours before doing Wrestle Kingdom at the Tokyo Dome on January 4th. So they have somewhere between like 7 to 10 shows, something like that, left of house shows, and they pulled AJ Styles from it because AJ Styles also has to be in Philadelphia in the middle of December for Ring of Honor's biggest show of the year, their big WrestleMania Final Battle. He's in the main event in a world title match with Jay Lethal. He has to be ready for that. So they pulled him from all the house shows on New Japan's circuit to prepare him for Final Battle and to make sure he's good for Wrestle Kingdom. So supposedly he's not out,
Right.
and it's not something that's putting him on the sidelines, but as a precautionary measure, they're pulling him from unnecessary shows so he can make the 2 big shows he has coming up.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah. Not
On the
end of
flip
world.
side of that coin, Cesaro's injury.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do that sound effect because it actually really upsets me.
Well,
That whole team, the Brass Ring Club, got such a raw end of the deal this year.
Cesaro section and yeah.
Kid almost died. Like
I know. Did we talk at all about Cesaro's amazing match with Roman Reigns?
You know what? It happened the week before Survivor Series, and when we were taped.
And we don't cover the week beforehand, so I don't think we did.
We didn't talk about it.
Maybe one of my favorite matches of the year.
It was very tight as a match.
Well,
and that spiral uppercut thing, man.
Or the cartwheel off the top rope.
That whole and the sequence that followed it. That's
some
good wrestling.
I've been doing a lot of talking, so I want you to talk about the Cesaro injury. How do you feel about his future, the timing, all of it?
I feel like they were building towards something big with Cesaro. You know, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball after the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle win in WrestleMania 30. It was just like, okay, that's cool. And then nothing happened. And then he finally they started like really building him back up again, and they put him in the tag team with Tyson Kidd, and they had great matches, basically like putting on clinics and just being awesome in the ring together, just showing how great they could work together and just being awesome. I mean, they even had the audacity to have one of their symbols be putting up their ring finger, which people mistook for the middle finger, but like basically kind of like throwing it in Vince McMahon's face for saying that he's not a main event guy, as he said in the well, he doesn't like him in the Stone Cold interview. He said he just didn't really see that he had it.
How do you feel about that Vince looks at Cesaro as a boring guy?
I don't know. Remember CM Punk back when he said, like a couple of years ago, if you told him about Daniel Bryan or CM Punk, he's like, who the hell is Daniel Bryan? You know, I feel like he didn't give these guys the chance. He's so stuck in his ways of thinking what a champion should look like. You know, your John Cena's, your Sheamus, your Randy Orton, you know, your big, strong, muscular, V-shaped fellows, that the people that don't necessarily... I mean, Cesaro's ripped as hell. He's not as, like, big, muscular. Like, I mean, he's strong, but his muscles aren't as bulging as, like, a John Cena. And
I know the point you're making, though, that you're saying Cesaro should be a Vince guy.
He should
because
be.
of his body type.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of guy Vince would go crazy for. But he says he thinks he's boring.
yeah. And I don't think he's boring. I just think you don't hear a lot of him talking. And when you do hear him talking, it was rough.
His promos have been rough. People don't acknowledge that, but his promo work isn't fantastic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's bad,
No.
but he did say that there were 4 ropes to a ring once.
Yeah. He did say that. Oh, God, that was...
And it was going to be such a good promo. I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the
It
podcast.
was.
I remember saying
this.
But it was so hyped. He was in the corner with the towel over his head, like circa Taz.
It was going to be a great promo.
And everyone's like, this is the moment. This is Cesaro. 4 ropes.
4 ropes to a ring.
4 ropes.
And then he has the Cesaro section backing him. You know, he's starting to get that, like, Daniel Bryan, like, crowd support going.
But that's one of the things I want to ask you is, do you think this is sort of like... Because Vince McMahon is always compared to being like a father figure to a lot of his talent. That do you feel with guys like Daniel Bryan, with guys like Cesaro, with guys like CM Punk, that Vince is playing that father figure type of doubting them just to make them prove themselves? You know what I mean? That to make them fight for it harder. You know what I mean? I never saw the movie, but people keep telling me about that movie Whiplash, where he has like the really hard, strong coach just to push him to make him do better. It feels like even though Vince might have a type, like a John Cena or arguably a Roman Reigns,
right,
that he does this to Cesaro's and CM Punk's and Daniel Bryan's to say, like, I'm going to doubt you for you to show me you're worth it. Do you think that could be the case?
You know, he is kind of a crazy genius. It could be. It could
He's
be working that
dangerously
way.
genius.
Yeah. Like, I mean, as crazy as it is, I feel like he was almost trying to manufacture a Daniel Bryan movement with Cesaro, and I think it was working.
Yeah.
And this injury sucks because if he would have stayed healthy, who knows what would have happened Royal Rumble and on. You know, like we could have. I mean, it would have been crazy to imagine a Cesaro in a main event at WrestleMania.
Or having another moment in front of 100,000 people.
Yep. And now,
True that.
this injury. So I hope Cesaro gets better and Kidd gets better, and maybe they'll come back at the same time and just
Be an awesome tag team again. It would upset a lot of Cesaro fans who want to see him have his singles run, but I don't get mad at a Cesaro Kidd tag team.
I think
much fun.
It would be good just to have them do it for like a month or two just to reacquaint everybody with them. And then you could have them split and have them wrestle, and their matches would be insane.
Or even it could help with cutting down the work rate coming off of such serious injuries that they tag team as opposed to singles wrestle. But
yeah, they could share the burden, and it would be great.
Right.
It'd be really. It would be something.
Right. What else? What else do we have to
And
talk about?
the last thing, if you watched NXT this past week, you may have seen a little video package that hinted at the return of Sami Zayn, which is the best. Lots of woes and ohs.
I can't sing on key.
He's from the underground.
Yeah.
You know.
You excited? You still
Yeah.
a Sami Zayn fan?
I am. I'm not. But I don't want to get too hyped over it because
You don't want to throw your shoulder out?
I was
too
really,
hyped?
I was really hyped when Daniel Bryan came back and he had like 4 matches and then he's gone again, and that's so depressing.
The one thing I look at optimistically with Sami Zayn's return is that his shoulder injury was supposedly something that's been nagging him since the days of Ring of Honor and has been with him for a really long time. So as long as he recovers from this properly, he's good to go for years. Like,
Right.
he took care of the one thing that was a serious health issue with him. As long as he's fully rehabilitated, Sammy's good, you know?
Right. As long as I see some Blue Thunder bombs,
Yakuza kicks.
some kicks, that thing he does, where he dives through the corner and does the tornado DDT, that's pretty sweet.
Oh,
You
love
know.
that move.
The sunset flip powerbomb thing, just beautiful, beautiful work he does in the ring. I don't want to get too excited because
And you can't like him that much,
I
or else he'll
can't.
get injured again.
it sucks. I feel like I was actually really supporting Rollins before he got hurt too, and now he's like out forever. And then I'm like, man, Cesaro's getting really great too. Now Cesaro's out, and I remember I was like, no, I'm gonna like Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns just can't get hurt. You can't hurt him.
He was a year ago. He had
Yeah.
that hernia thing.
Well, that was before I was like, oh, he's hurt. That's strange. I'm like, yeah, he pulled his groin. Okay. Ha ha ha. No. Sami Zayn, please come back.
So do you think he's coming back at NXT London?
Oh.
I think that's the case.
Oh, I hope so.
I think so.
How is he gonna?
You think maybe attack Samoa Joe?
No.
What if he went heel
No,
and attacked
he's
Sami
such-
Zayn?
he's such a-
Or attack Sami Zayn.
Attack-
Attack Finn Balor.
But he's such a great baby face. He's like the
He
best
is a
baby
great
face.
babyface. But you know what? Attacking Samoa Joe can make sense because his last match before his injury was that besides Cena, was with Kevin Owens, where Samoa Joe made his debut and came out and saved Sami Zayn
Right.
because Owens was giving him that beatdown that the ref stopped. What if Sami Zayn was like, "F you, Samoa Joe, I don't need your help." Boom.
Okay.
You
I'm
know
sold.
What I'm saying?
I'm sold on that.
Okay. Well, is that it for real?
That's actually it for reals.
Okay.
For Rizzle, for us here in this hizzle. Yeah, I said it.
So we have a lot of big stuff coming up.
We do.
There's going to be Cage of Death, TLC, which we'll review live like always. Ring of Honor's Final Battle, which is their WrestleMania of the year, which is in Philly. Might go to that too.
Nice.
These next few shows are going to be pretty
And
big.
our end of the year review.
And our end of the year review, which is coming up in a couple weeks. We'll
Ooh.
talk about our favorite matches of the year, which,
That's going to be tough.
you know what?
Should we have our favorite and our least favorite matches? Because I feel like
Ooh,
least favorite's going to be hard.
Yeah, least favorite's too difficult. I feel like least favorite is like an endless list of Raw Divas matches that is too hard to go through.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
All
I don't
those-
want to do least favorite.
All right. So it's just the best of the best.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm doing okay, maybe not the top 10, but I'm doing a list of 10 companies' top 10s.
Wow.
So it's like WWE, NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, CZW, Evolve, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and I'm forgetting somebody. I can't remember.
Did you say
Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to have a top 10 list of all of those companies because I'm insane.
That's why I might not have a list that high.
But I'm
will have
okay
at
with that.
least
I just
3
want to.
companies.
I want to be able to. Yeah, I want to be able to go against your guys' list. So you'll have ones for WWE, NXT,
And Lucha.
and Lucha.
I've
Okay.
seen at least 2 shows, so I have at least 12 matches or so to go off of.
Oh, you know what? I was lying though. I would replace one of those companies with Beyond Wrestling. I'm
Okay.
gonna do a Beyond Wrestling top 10. So yeah,
All right.
2015 will be reviewed, and we got some fun stuff coming up.
Very true. So, like I said before, hit us at our email, chopsandpopspodcast@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, write a comment, do
Tell
something.
us your favorite matches of
Yeah.
2015.
Write a comment.
Reciprocate.
Tell me I'm dumb. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
I could take it.
We've been around for almost a year now. We've gotten like 60 likes, only like 2 dislikes. I want to talk to the dislike people. I
Yeah.
don't even care about the love that we get. I want to talk to the people that listen to us and go like, douchebags. These guys don't know what they're talking about. Tell me.
Yeah.
I want to debate. I want you to put us in our place and then me put you in your place. Let's talk.
In the corner. That's where you belong. Yes. So, like I said, our email, chopsandpopspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Twitter, @chopsandpops. Andrew usually takes care of that. I don't really know much about that. I'm not really big into the social media game. But Andrew Vitolo's social media game is on point with Chops and Pops. So, that's it for Chops and Pops. I am Andy.
I'm Shane. Andrew will probably be back next week.
Most likely. So we will catch you here on Chops and Pips.